By the time we reach 60, something surprising starts to happen inside our bodies quietly, invisibly. We begin to lose up to 8% of our muscle mass every decade. For some, it's even faster. This process, known as sarcopenia, is one of the hidden culprits behind falls fatigue and the loss of independence in old age. In the United States, over 45% of people over 65 are affected by sarcopenia. Yet in Japan, it's common to see 85-year-olds walking to the market tending their gardens, or even practicing gentle martial arts. What's their secret? Today we're diving into a powerful solution, hiding in plain sight, collagen-rich foods, inspired by traditional Japanese diets. These aren't just beauty foods. They're healing, strengthening, and deeply nourishing, especially for aging bodies. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. If you've noticed your skin feeling thinner, your joints aching more often, or your muscles shrinking even though your weight stays the same, you're not imagining it. These are all signs of one silent change. Your body is making less collagen. Collagen is like the glue that holds your body together. It supports your skin cushions, your joints, strengthens your bones, and builds your muscles. But after the age of 60, our natural collagen production drops sharply. That's why even a small fall can lead to fractures. That's why lifting groceries feels heavier. That's why getting up from the floor takes more effort than before. In Japan, elders are taught from a young age to eat with intention. They believe food is medicine, shokuiku they call it. In this philosophy, collagen isn't just something for youthful skin, it's a building block for aging strong. You might see an 88-year-old man in Okinawa starting his morning with miso soup full of seaweed and tofu, both supporting collagen formation. Or a grandmother in Kyoto who still kneels comfortably on the floor thanks to years of eating broth made from fish bones and chicken wings. They don't talk about collagen as a supplement, they simply make it a natural part of their daily meals. And that's what this video is all about. Because it's never too late to rebuild, to restore, to nourish. Your body hasn't given up on you. With the right support, it still knows how to heal. Collagen and sarcopenia, the silent threat of aging. What if I told you that aging doesn't have to mean becoming weaker? That frailty isn't just about age, it's about what we lose and what we forget to rebuild. There's a condition called sarcopenia, a gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that begins around age 50 and accelerates after 60. Many people don't even hear this word until they've already experienced the symptoms, struggling to stand up from a chair, feeling unsteady when walking, or becoming exhausted after simple tasks. In the United States, nearly 1 in 2 seniors over age 65 show signs of sarcopenia. But in Japan, the rates are much lower. Why? It's not just genetics. It's lifestyle. It's food. It's culture. In many Japanese towns, seniors remain active and connected, gardening, cleaning, cooking, walking. And their meals often include collagen-rich dishes like fish skin, miso broth, or simmered meats. These meals don't just satisfy the stomach, they support the tissues, muscles, and joints that keep them moving. Collagen helps fight sarcopenia in 2 powerful ways. First, it supplies the amino acids your body needs to rebuild muscle. Second, it keeps joints cushioned and flexible, making movement easier and safer. Let me tell you about Mr. Takashi, an 82-year-old retired teacher in Okinawa. Every morning he stretches on his tatami mat, then prepares breakfast: grilled mackerel with daikon, a small bowl of natto, and warm miso soup with tofu and seaweed. He says it helps his body wake up with kindness. And when he walks to the market, yes, walks, he never feels rushed. He moves with intention. What if rebuilding strength could begin not with a pill, but with a bowl of warm soup? Collagen from deep-sea fish. Japan's longevity secret. If you visit a coastal village in Japan early in the morning, you might see an old man preparing fish with his bare hands, scaling, slicing, and simmering in a pot of soy ginger and mirin. He's not a chef. He's 90 years old, and he's cooking his own breakfast. In Japanese cuisine, fish is more than food. It's tradition, it's health, and it's one of the richest sources of natural collagen, especially when eaten with the skin bones and connective tissues. Fish like mackerel, sardines, salmon, and tuna are common in the Japanese diet. But while many in the West remove the skin or discard the bones, the Japanese often keep them because that's where collagen lives. When fish is simmered slowly in dishes like nitsuke or shioyaki, the collagen in the skin and bones is gently released into the broth. This slow method not only preserves nutrients, but also makes it easier for older adults to digest and absorb. Mr. Fujimoto, a fisherman from Hokkaido, says he's been eating head to tail since childhood. At 92, he still walks without a cane. I don't eat fancy, he smiles. Just fish every day, even the soft bones. Fish collagen is primarily type 1 collagen, which supports skin elasticity, bone strength, and tendon repair. And unlike some meat-based sources, fish collagen is more bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs it more efficiently. You don't need to live near the sea to get these benefits. Many of these fish, especially sardines and salmon, are available canned, frozen, or fresh in most U.S. grocery stores. Look for products with skin on wild-caught if possible, and with minimal added ingredients. At home, try a simple preparation: simmer salmon with soy sauce, garlic, and a slice of ginger. Serve with steamed rice and some pickled vegetables. Or make a fish miso soup with seaweed and tofu, just like they do in Japan. Each bite isn't just delicious, it's medicine for your muscles, joints, and bones. Natto, Japan's fermented superfood for collagen and bone strength. In Japanese kitchens, some of the most powerful foods don't look like much. Take natto, for example, a humble dish of fermented soybeans that's been a breakfast staple for generations. With its sticky threads, bold smell, and strong taste, natto often surprises first-time eaters. But beneath that unusual texture lies something remarkable: a quiet powerhouse for bone and muscle health. Natto is rich in glycine, an amino acid that helps your body produce collagen. Collagen is essential as we age. It supports joint flexibility, skin elasticity, and helps rebuild muscle tissue. But natto's real secret weapon is vitamin K2, a rare nutrient that helps direct calcium into your bones where it belongs. This means stronger bones, fewer fractures, and a lower risk of osteoporosis, especially in older adults. In fact, research has shown that areas of Japan where people eat natto daily, like in parts of Nagano and Tohoku, have some of the lowest rates of hip fractures in elderly women. It's not coincidence. It's cultural habit built over time. Mrs. Haruko, a retired nurse from Nagano, has been eating natto every morning for over 40 years. Her routine is simple: a small bowl of steamed rice miso soup, green tea, and natto mixed with a dash of soy sauce, chopped scallions, and sometimes a raw egg yolk. I started because my mother did, she says. But now I notice the difference. If I miss it for a few days, I feel more tired, less steady. What makes natto unique is its fermentation process. As soybeans ferment, they develop natural enzymes that make nutrients easier to absorb. For older adults, many of whom struggle with digestion, this means the body can actually use the protein, calcium, and vitamins in the meal more efficiently. For those in the U.S., trying natto for the first time can be a bit intimidating, but there are gentle ways to get used to it. Mix it with miso paste or spicy mustard to soften the flavor. Eat it slightly chilled, not warm. This helps reduce the strong smell. Enjoy it with steamed rice and warm broth for a comforting, easy-to-digest breakfast. You can find natto in most Asian supermarkets, usually in the refrigerated or frozen section. Look for organic or non-GMO soybeans if possible, and start with small portions. The first bite might feel strange, sticky, stringy, even unfamiliar. But remember, the foods that heal us aren't always the ones that come in perfect packaging. Sometimes they're quiet, fermented, a little smelly, and deeply nourishing. Natto may not be for everyone, but if you give it a chance, it might become more than just a meal. It might become a small daily act of care for your aging bones and body. Japanese bone broth, the golden elixir for aging, joints and muscles. In many Japanese households, there's a quiet ritual that begins early in the morning, the slow simmer of bones, vegetables, and herbs in a clay pot. The aroma fills the home, not loud or spicy, but gentle and comforting. This is dashi, or bone broth, and for generations it has been a quiet cornerstone of Japanese healing. Bone broth is sometimes called liquid collagen for good reason. When you simmer bones, especially chicken wings, fish heads, or beef joints, collagen breaks down into gelatin and amino acids that help rebuild connective tissues. For older adults, this means stronger joints, healthier skin, and better digestion. What makes the Japanese way special isn't just the ingredients, it's the intention. They cook slowly. They use kombu seaweed, shiitake mushrooms, and ginger to enrich the flavor without heavy seasoning. The broth becomes a gentle, nourishing base, not just for soup, but for healing. Mrs. Yumi78 makes bone broth twice a week. She saves chicken bones from meals, adds daikon radish, a piece of ginger, and lets it simmer for hours. It's the taste of my childhood, she says, and the reason my knees still feel young. In Western cooking, broths can be salty and over-seasoned, but the Japanese style keeps things light and clean, perfect for sensitive stomachs and aging digestion. Here's how to start your own golden elixir at home. Use a slow cooker or stovetop. Add chicken wings or fish bones, kombu, onions, and carrots. Cover with water. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar to help extract minerals. Simmer slowly for at least 4 to 6 hours. Strain. Store in jars. Sip warm or use as a base for soups, rice, or miso. A warm cup of bone broth in the morning or before bed can soothe the body like a gentle massage from within. It's not magic, it's mindful nutrition. Seaweed and algae. Japan's plant-based collagen boosters. In Japan, seaweed isn't just a garnish, it's part of the soul of every meal. You'll find it at breakfast, floating gently in a warm bowl of miso soup. At lunch, it wraps tightly around fresh rice in sushi rolls. And at dinner, it simmers slowly in hot pots, lending its minerals to broths passed down through generations. For centuries, Japanese families have turned to the sea not just for flavor, but for strength. Seaweed is deeply woven into the rhythm of daily life. It's easy to prepare, gentle on the body, and profoundly nourishing, especially for those in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Though seaweed doesn't contain collagen in the traditional sense like meat or fish skin does, it's rich in nutrients that help your body produce its own collagen. These include vitamin C, which supports collagen synthesis, zinc, which helps repair tissues, and glycine, a vital amino acid found in both animal and plant sources. Some seaweeds even contain sulfated polysaccharides, natural compounds that may help reduce inflammation and promote healthy skin, joints, and gut lining. One of the most beloved varieties is wakame, a silky, slightly briny seaweed that blooms in hot soup like petals unfolding. It's a staple in miso soup, not just for its taste, but for the trace minerals it brings. Another favorite is kombu, a thicker seaweed used to create the base for dashi broth. Kombu releases glutamic acid, a natural source of umami, and also offers iodine and calcium to support bone and thyroid health. Then there's nori, the thin dark green sheets used to wrap sushi. It's light, crispy, and often eaten as a snack in Japan. Beyond its delicious texture, nori is rich in iron, vitamin B12, and protein nutrients often lacking in older adults, especially those eating less meat. Mr. Kenji, a 77-year-old retired calligrapher from Osaka, shared his lifelong habit: "I eat seaweed with every meal, just a little. In soup, on rice, or even with tea. It makes me feel light, like my body isn't rusting." He laughs, tapping his knees. "Still no pain when I sit to write." Modern Japanese wellness culture has also embraced microalgae like spirulina and chlorella. Though not traditional in older generations, these green superfoods are now common in smoothies, teas, or even capsules. They offer a plant-based protein source packed with antioxidants, iron, magnesium, and chlorophyll. For aging bodies, they provide subtle support, reducing fatigue, supporting detoxification, and gently encouraging the skin to stay elastic and radiant. You don't have to live in Japan to enjoy these gifts from the ocean. In most grocery stores across the U.S., you'll find seaweed and algae in the Asian or health food aisles. Here's how to get started: wakame flakes. These rehydrate quickly in hot water. Add them to miso soup, chicken broth, or stir into rice bowls. Nori sheets, toast them lightly and crumble over salad soups or eat as a salty, crunchy snack. Kombu strips. Used to simmer in water when cooking rice or broth, then remove before serving. Spirulina or chlorella powder. Start with 1 or 2 teaspoons stirred into a smoothie, warm tea, or even sprinkled over oats. If you're new to the taste, start small. Seaweed has a natural ocean flavor, salty, earthy, and clean. Pair it with familiar foods to make the transition gentle. Over time, your palate will adjust, and your body will respond in subtle, steady ways. For those over 60, even a small daily serving can support collagen production, joint lubrication, skin hydration, and digestion. Unlike synthetic supplements, these are whole natural foods, gifts of the sea that work quietly over time. And there's something else: the act of preparing seaweed is calming. Soaking wakame, folding nori, watching kombu swirl in a pot, it slows you down. It reminds you to care for yourself, to be present. Because sometimes healing doesn't roar. It doesn't demand big changes or dramatic diets. Sometimes it comes from the ocean, not in waves, but in whispers. Collagen tea, a gentle Japanese ritual for stronger aging bodies. In Japan, the act of drinking tea is more than a beverage. It's a ritual of presence. A moment to pause, breathe, and nourish both body and spirit. For older adults, these moments can be a beautiful way to support health, not with noise, but with quiet intention. Now imagine combining this peaceful habit with a hidden gift for your joints and muscles: collagen. In recent years, many older Japanese adults have started adding collagen powder into their morning tea, especially matcha genmaicha roasted rice tea or simple warm ginger tea. This blend isn't just about taste, it's about healing. Why does this work? Collagen powder, especially hydrolyzed marine collagen, dissolves easily in warm liquids and is absorbed well on an empty stomach. Paired with antioxidant-rich teas, it supports joint flexibility, muscle recovery, and skin elasticity. Mrs. Sato, 74, from Kyoto, says she sips her collagen tea every morning while sitting near the window. "It helps my knees." She smiles, but it also calms my mind. You don't need a tea ceremony to start this habit. Here's a simple way to try it at home. Boil water and let it cool slightly. Stir in 1 scoop of collagen powder unflavored. Add green tea matcha or sliced ginger and honey. Sit down. Sip slowly. Take a deep breath. If you prefer coffee, that's fine too. Collagen works in warm coffee as well. But there's something uniquely gentle about tea. It doesn't rush the body. It whispers to it. Look for collagen powders that are grass-fed or marine-based with no artificial ingredients. Start with half a scoop if you're new, and listen to how your body responds over time. When taken daily, many seniors report less joint pain, better digestion, and more energy in the morning. And even if you forget about the science for a moment, this quiet tea ritual done just for you is a gift of care, one that your body will remember. When I visited Okinawa a few years ago, I met a woman named Michiko. She was 86 years old, barely 5 feet tall, with silver hair tied in a neat bun, and hands that moved with the gentleness of someone who had spent a lifetime caring for family, for garden, for self. She invited me into her kitchen. It was small but bright. The windows were open to the sea breeze. On the stove, a pot of soup simmered slowly. Inside were fish bones, seaweed daikon, and slivers of ginger. She called it her morning medicine. Every morning for over 40 years, Michiko had started her day with this simple broth. "I don't take many pills," she said, "but I cook with care. That's my medicine." She moved with quiet grace, no cane, no shuffle. She knelt to pick vegetables from her garden and rose without effort. Her skin was soft not because of creams, but because of the food she ate. Her knees didn't ache because they were nourished not by calcium tablets, but by generations-old recipes passed down in silence. Michiko told me something I'll never forget. "When I was younger, I ate to be full. Now I eat to stay strong. Not for vanity, but so I can walk to see my friends. So I can bend to tie my shoes. So I don't need help getting out of bed." Her words stayed with me long after I left her home. In a world that often rushes us to fix problems with pills or products, Michiko reminded me that sometimes healing doesn't have to be loud. It can be a warm bowl of broth, a spoonful of natto, a sip of green tea with collagen, done quietly with love. So what have we learned from the long, quiet wisdom of Japan? We've seen that collagen isn't just something for beauty magazines, it's a foundation, a daily building block that supports our joints, our bones, our skin, and most importantly, our strength. Especially after 60, when the body begins to slow, these collagen-rich traditions from Japanese kitchens can help us move, heal, and live with more confidence. We explored 5 powerful everyday ways to bring collagen into your life. Deep sea fish, rich in type 1. Collagen eaten with skin and bones like the elders of Hokkaido. Natto, the humble fermented soybean, quietly nourishing bones with vitamin K2 and glycine. Bone broth simmered slowly, like Mrs. Yumi's healing recipe, rich in gelatin and love. Seaweed and algae whispering from the ocean with minerals that help your body rebuild from within. Collagen tea, not just a drink, but a mindful moment of self-care each morning. Maybe one of these feels familiar to you. Maybe one feels completely new. Either way, I encourage you to start small. Choose just one habit to try this week. Cook a simple miso soup, add a scoop of collagen to your tea, or even just walk through the Asian aisle of your local market and see what speaks to you. Remember, your body is listening, and it's never too late to give it what it needs. Before we end, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these foods before? Or is there one you're curious to explore? Please share in the comments below. And if this video brought you hope or inspiration, share it with someone you care about. Let's rebuild together. Health disclaimer. The health information in this video is general in nature and not intended as medical advice. If you have specific concerns about your health, please consult your doctor or local clinic. If you believe you are experiencing a medical emergency, contact your physician or local emergency services immediately.